I would now like to invite the Honourable Chansey Paech, Northern Territory Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Minister for Arts, Culture and Heritage, Minister for Desert Knowledge, Australian Minister for Local Government, Minister for Racing, Gaming and Licensing. You're a very busy fella. I reckon I've missed out a couple, to be honest. So we're very, very lucky to have him along. He's going to have a little yarn with us. Chansey grew up in Alice Springs. He is of Aranda, Arabana and Gurindji descent, and he's a big long-term supporter of Rangers. So we're happy to give him some time to come and have a yarn with us.
All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. I would firstly like to take the opportunity to acknowledge the traditional owners and elders of whose beautiful country, the Uluṟu country of the Yulara, something happening there, country here we're meeting on, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and certainly emerging. But importantly, extend that acknowledgement and welcome to each and every one of you in this room for having strong elders in your community who each and every day continue to keep language, law and culture strong, because our country is strong when our people are strong, and our people are strong when our country is strong. Now, I got asked to come and talk to everyone today, and I thought, I don't really know what I'm going to say because I'm in a room with experts. Each and every one of you is an expert in caring for country, in looking after country. And I was in Sydney not long ago, and we were talking to a bunch of people, and they were asking about what country means. And I was trying to explain to them, and a lot of the cardio was struggling a little bit. And I said, don't think about country like you're just going to go for a drive to see country. Because as Aboriginal people, when we talk about country, we talk about country like it's a loved one, like it's a person, like it's family. We talk to country, we sing to country, we go out and we ask country to heal us when we're not feeling well. And as Rangers, you have the important job of being the first responders to country. Responding to country when country needs help. Responding to country when country is experiencing catastrophes and issues. Responding to country in the future as we have to deal with climate change. And making sure that country can be strong, can be nurtured and can be cared for. I always hear people talking about knowledge is power. Well, today in this room, I can see, I can feel and I can hear the power. The power from everyone in this room is important. It's something that we need to continue to have those important conversations with everyone together to make sure that we gain that power, we gain the voice, and we continue to stand up and talk about the importance of country and why we need the resources and the support to get out onto country and to look after country. So it's really exciting that we've had a federal government election, and the new federal government, of which Minister Burney was on the big TV this morning talking, spoke about that, the investment into country and into Rangers. And why has that happened? It's because of everyone in this room. Every person in this room has stood up, spoken about country, talked about country, made sure that everyone sitting in Canberra has heard about the importance to stand up and protect country. Now, we know that there is a doubling of Rangers, but we've got to not get slack now and have a rest. We've got to make sure that we continue to talk with the Canberra so that the Indigenous Desert Alliance and all the members get that investment into country to grow the ranger groups, to grow the resources, to grow the footprint in that we can get out and care for country. Because that's the best way that we'll be able to work to protect country. Country is culture. Seeing them young kids on the screen doing that amazing work is important. It's really lovely to see that we've got a whole group of ranger groups now working with our young kids in our schools to understand, because school is important and it's important that everyone goes to school. But as Anangu, as Yapa, country is our school. Country is our university. Country is what makes us strong. That is so important. We mustn't forget that. Encourage people to get out onto country, experience how important it is. Because as I said, we've got a lot of government agencies who respond to, situations, whether someone's sick, whether someone's in trouble. Schools look after kids. Rangers do the important job of protecting country, of preserving country, and standing up for country. Rangers also do a really important job, and that is identifying places where we need to do more work. I'm the Minister in the Northern Territory for Art, Culture and Heritage. In the Northern Territory, our ranger groups are so vital to make sure that sacred sites are protected. Because when someone does something to a sacred site, it's often our ranger groups who report that. It's often our ranger groups who experience and see the damage firsthand, who are often very upset around that. That's why it's important to do the work with the ranger groups to preserve country so that our kids and our kids' kids have strong country for the future. It's really, really important. What else is important, and I've heard today, again, for a number of the presentations that we've been hearing from, they're groundbreaking. I don't know of any other group across the country or across the world where this many delegates whose role it is to care for country, look after country, protect country, can come together and share ideas, talk about the challenges, but talk about the opportunities to change the future for the better. So I want everyone today to feel really proud. Not all superheroes wear capes. And I'm looking across at the room today and I'm seeing a lot of superheroes who each and every day go out and don't get thanked, but you stand up for country. You fight for country. And that is so important. So I just want to also thank the Indigenous Desert Alliance for the ongoing work, the advocacy, the support. And it would be great at the end of the few days to really be able to come together and have that list of priorities that each state and territory and the federal government need to respond to make sure that everything that they do is to support you so that our country remains strong. Accreditation is important. And I just heard from all my beautiful Walpri nanas, aunties and mums, the important work that they are doing. I think that's one of the only accredited courses in the country. This is the stuff we need to see more of. And we need to support you all so that you can continue to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I'm not going to talk too much longer because I know that this conference has had a lot of mangari and everyone's a little bit sleepy. So look, just wanting to say from the bottom of my heart, you do a fantastic job. You don't often get thanked for the work you do. It's hot, it's dusty, it's sometimes really hard. Sometimes you see things that hurt when you see that country is not being looked after. And today, I want to thank you for everything that you do. I want to thank you for the big voice that you have all collectively come together to continue to talk about, because that voice is being heard. You heard today from Minister Bernie, that voice has been heard. Those commitments to grow ranger groups across the country have been made. But we cannot get slack now and think it's time to have a relax. We have to continue to advocate and meet with the Commonwealth Government and the state and territory governments to make sure that the deserts don't miss out on that opportunity, that the deserts get their fair share of the investment and the resources. Because our deserts are not places that are not alive. They're full of life, they're full of language, they're full of law, they're full of culture. And that's what we have to celebrate. That's what we have to make sure we talk about. So I know everyone here's got a mobile phone because I've been hearing it ringing while I've been sitting in that crowd. So I just want you to do one thing for me. Take photos of your gangers. Take photos of the other ranger groups from other parts of the country. Talk to each other. Share ideas. Talk about how you stand up for country in your community. And make sure you share that. Because too often we hear not good stories on the social media, the TikTok, all that thing about Aboriginal people. And that's wrong. Because in this room, I see power, I see knowledge, I see a room full of desert professors. That's what we need to be sharing on a national stage. Talking about that important work that every single person in this room does, standing up for country, protecting country, looking after country so that future generations will have country to share in. Don't be ashamed to be controversial or be a little bit loud. That's good. Controversy is good. Don't let no one ever silence you for standing up for what is yours, your country. People will say, sit down, be quiet. Don't make me shame. You got to make people shame. Making people shame is sometimes how you get things done. You know what I mean? Hey? Come on, you mob all going sleep. You know what I mean? Yes. Be proud, be strong, be black, be deadly. That is how you drive change. You drive change by coming together like the Indigenous Desert Alliance, talking about them ideas, talking about what is the issues in you mob's country that you want to wave and say, hey, we've got to fix this. You mob got to listen. Whether it's in you mob's parliament in SA, WA, NT, or in the big house in Canberra. Advocacy, all the work that you do is important and you're being heard now, so continue to be heard. Continue to talk about those issues. Continue to make sure that when everyone is talking about climate change, we're talking about the effects in the desert. Because it's our people, the desert people, that will be the first climate refugees if we don't address climate change. It's our people who will be out there on country when it's too hot, who will miss out on that cuppy when it's not falling from the sky. This is all the stuff we've got to make sure we're talking about because it's stuff that matters. Some of that no good, weeds that grows up and stops, all my nana's going to get happy when I say this word. When all them weeds start growing and they stop the minkelbuff from growing, everyone's going to go crazy. These are the things we've got to talk about. Invasive weed species that take over bush tucker spots, take over hunting grounds because the tucker there for the animals to eat is no longer there. These are things that we've got to talk about. Now I'm going to give you my breath and get ready for the next speakers. But I just want to finish by saying you are all amazing. You do great work. You are recognised. You are valued. You are important. And you're going to keep that voice strong, eh? Can't be. You're going to keep that voice strong? No, I don't know. Are you going to keep that voice strong? That's it. Palya.